They say winter comes from the tilt of the earth, but that is a lie the gods told to hide something far darker. Winter was born from an abduction, a mother's rage, and the cold shadow of the underworld itself. Before there were seasons, before frost ever touched the land, the world was warm, green, and full of life. Crops grew endlessly, flowers never died. Demeter, goddess of the harvest, walked the fields in peace. Her joy was her daughter Persephone, radiant, curious, and untouched by sorrow. She wandered meadows thick with wildflowers, her laughter making the wheat grow taller and the streams run clearer. But beneath the soil, in halls carved from shadow and stone, another god watched. Hades, lord of the underworld, ruler of all that was dead and buried. His kingdom was vast but joyless. The dead do not sing, they do not dance, they do not love. To Hades, Persephone was something he had never known, life itself. And when gods desire something, they do not ask, they take. One morning, Persephone left her companions behind in the fields, drawn to a single bloom unlike any she had ever seen. A narcissus, white as bone, its petals glimmering unnaturally in the sunlight. She knelt to pluck it. The earth split open beneath her feet. The sound was like mountains breaking. From the darkness roared a chariot of black iron, drawn by 4 night-haired horses with eyes burning red. Hades rose from the abyss, his cloak billowing like storm clouds, his crown forged from the shadows of the underworld. Before Persephone could scream, his arms were around her, his grip like iron. The chariot dove back into the chasm, and the ground sealed above them. Only a few fallen flowers remained to mark the spot where she had been. When Demeter returned to the meadow, she found only silence. For 9 days she searched without rest, torch in hand, scouring the earth. She wandered the oceans, questioned every god and every spirit. None dared tell her what they had seen. It was Hecate, goddess of crossroads and ghosts, who whispered the truth, that Helios, the all-seeing sun, had witnessed the abduction. Demeter went to him, and the sun god, unable to lie, told her everything. Her grief turned to fury. She stormed to Olympus, demanding her brother Zeus, king of the gods, force Hades to return her daughter. But Zeus hesitated. He had known of the plan. In truth, he had given his blessing. Demeter's voice was ice when she answered him. If she does not return, the earth will wither, no seed will sprout, no fruit will ripen, the world will starve. Zeus called her bluff. So Demeter kept her promise. The crops failed, trees shed their leaves, hunger spread, and with it, the prayers of mortals dwindled. Sacrifices to the gods ceased. Even the smoke of the sacred altars grew cold. And at last, Zeus began to fear. He sent Hermes, god of travelers and herald of the gods, down into the underworld. Through gates guarded by the 3-headed hound Cerberus, past rivers of the dead where the shades wailed without end, Hermes found Persephone on a throne of obsidian beside Hades. Her face was pale, her eyes distant, as if the warmth of the world above had already been drained from her. Hades did not rise when Hermes entered. He simply smiled. "The girl is free to leave," he said. But when Persephone stood, his voice followed her like a chain. "Though I wonder if she will be able to leave me behind." What Hermes did not know was that Hades had played the oldest trick of all. The laws of the underworld are ancient and unbreakable. Any soul who eats the food of the dead is bound to its realm forever. Persephone had resisted every offering, but hunger had grown unbearable. In a moment of weakness, she had eaten 6 pomegranate seeds, 6 tiny drops of blood-red fruit. When Hermes brought her back to Demeter, the reunion was fierce. Tears, embraces, and joy that made the earth bloom again. But Zeus spoke the verdict. For each seed she had eaten, Persephone would spend 1 month in the underworld as Hades' queen. 6 seeds, 6 months. Half the year she would walk among the living, bringing spring and summer. Half the year she would vanish below, and Demeter's grief would strip the world bare. That is why winter comes, not because of the earth's tilt, but because a mother's heart is torn in two year after year. In time, poets softened the tale. They spoke of Persephone as a willing queen, as if she had chosen the shadows. But the earth remembers the truth. Every falling leaf, every barren field, every frost-bitten night, They are all part of the ransom paid for 6 seeds, and the cold bargain between love and loss. And the next time you feel the chill of winter, remember, it is not the wind that bites. It is the grief of a goddess who waits for her stolen child to come home.